So I'm about to close up the structures. So started off with the horizontal thing with this tool is the nose piece of it is quite thin, so it can get into tight spaces. Laser level to check to make sure it's flat, because my shed is probably not sitting on sometimes you have to drill out a few bits, but with the elevator it was quite good. The elevator all pretty much complete. I still haven't added the end pieces, the two end bits, the fiberglass bits of the spar or the angle brace, angle plate as they're called. So there is like dissimilar metal, so the rivets themselves are stainless steel, and they're later on in the build when you assemble that to the fuselage. And here you can see the vertical stabilizer, all the once the skin was fully riveted.
And when I got back to the UK in beginning of 2020, placed the order, and kind of the lockdown happened at the same time around April when I received the first kit. So there was a plan that some of my work colleagues will help out with the build, but in the end, because of lockdown, that couldn't happen. I ended up doing most of the work myself.
Used to sort out there was a leak developed on the left fuel tank. Luckily it was close to the wing root, so I could just take off the inspection hatch with the fuel sender on it and apply more sealant from the inside. Thankfully that was it, and that result what was described in the POH as the limits for them. The aileron deflections, rudder deflections, and the placards or the warnings are quite different to what's provided in the kit. That needs to meet the requirements, so I had to change all of that.
In the aircraft again, I think this was the 7th flight, I believe, during the test flight phase, which was the max all-up weight. So the aircraft was fully loaded at the back.
And by February we did the first flight. It was just a short 20-minute flight, and then following the test flying program we completed that and got the final permit issued by the Civil Aviation Authority in May of this year. And since then we've had a few trips. We've been to all four of us, my family, we've been on a short trip, and I've flown with my friends on a European holiday, flying across 4 countries.
Just trying to keep it low, because you need to do a continuous 5-minute climb, and obviously having airspace restrictions ahead kept the initial climb low until they could start.
I mean, the aircraft is just purely for recreational purpose, so it's purely there was no commercial incentive, or I didn't do it for that sort of purpose. It was mainly to use it for my family, and maybe so now we're actually sharing with another 4 pilots. We'll be sharing the aircraft so that it gets enough usage. Performance-wise, as I said, I didn't want to put my family in a really old aircraft, which was still running on technologies that were invented during the World War. I mean, still an air-cooled engine and carburetors and things like that is what you find in an aircraft nowadays. So this one is quite modern. It's got fuel injection. It's got electronic ignition, and so it's quite advanced in more like a modern car engine compared to general aviation aircrafts. പ്രധാന ഉദ്ദേശം കഴിഞ്ഞ 20 വർഷക്കാലം ദുബായിലെ ബിസിനസ് ചെയ്യാൻ ശേഷം